Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Sunday morning the 5th of October. In this video we're going back to Nova Scotia to the case of missing siblings 6-year-old Lily and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan from Lansdowne Station. There's something about Lily and Jack's case that has been bugging me. It's been bugging me since the release of the court documents. So we're going to talk about it, and it's regarding Janie Mackenzie, Daniel Martel's mother. She is Lily and Jack's step-grandma, and she lives in this RV right here on the property. The property is hers. She owns 2 acres, and then she owns, I think, a further 7 acres elsewhere, but not connected to the place where they live. And what you can see is the main trailer where Janie originally lived, and she's lived there for many years. But then Malaya and Daniel, when Malaya was pregnant with Meadow, asked Janie if they could come and live there. They were living with Malaya's grandma, Patty, but something happened and they moved out. So Lily and Jack, Daniel and pregnant Malaya came to live on Janie's property. Janie moved out of the main trailer into this RV, so it's very kind of her because this RV is, well, it doesn't even have a proper roof by the looks of things. It's very kind of her to do that. Anyway, they've lived there ever since. It was meant to be a temporary arrangement, but it just wasn't. Anyway, Janie changed her story, and this became evident when the court documents came out. I'm going to be kind to Janie in this video, spoiler alert. I'm not suggesting that Janie changed her story because there's anything necessarily nefarious about it, although that is one potential reason why she changed her story. Shall we talk about it? Yeah, let's go. Before we get into that, can I just ask, if you're not yet subscribed to this channel, please do so. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and with your help I can do it. There's still a considerable amount of people who watch my videos regularly who've not subscribed. It's completely free. It's not like memberships where you've got to pay. It's completely free. Just click the subscribe button and you are done, and then YouTube will send me a silver play button plaque for my wall. What's not to love? Okay, I'm going to start with the CBC interview of Janie. So this happened, when did this happen? 2 months ago, July 18th. And Janie fully explains what happened from her perspective that morning. So we're going to play that first, and then we're going to look at the court documents. And then I'll give you my opinion at the end.
So it's the morning of May 2nd. Take me through what happened.
Okay, I was up at 6 o'clock, sat in there and had my tea. And then on Facebook, 7 o'clock, I get up, come over here, fed my chickens. My brother, Ron, called me at 8:48. And asked me if I wanted to go to town with them. And I said, no. I said, I'm staying home. I said, I'm going back to bed. Okay, I went and I laid down. Next thing you know, my dog started barking, and the kids were out in the yard. Now, you can see there's 2 swings where the kids play. My bedroom is right there. I heard the kids. This is where the kids' swings are. This is where they always played.
And so that's where
I heard them. And I can hear everything in that trailer. If 2 kids get out of a fence, and Jack and Lily are all the time yelling, especially Lily, come on, Jackie, let's go, Jackie, let's go, Jackie. It's all I hear out here. When the kids get out of the fence and come out through here, I would have heard them yelling, come on, Jackie, let's go, let's go. I didn't hear anything. The next thing I heard is I heard Daniel yelling.
Daniel and Malaya have both said that it was around 9:40 when they realised that Lily and Jack weren't in the trailer. Malaya has also, in text messages to Belinda, the children's biological grandmother, said that the kids have been known to wander, so why not put a lock on your trailer door? Why not plug those holes in the fence? easy fixes when you know your kids wander. Young kids, 6 and 4, they don't appreciate the dangers out there and they're known to wander. But Malia has also said that she relied on Janie to tell her when the kids were outside, and then she'd go out and get them. And I just don't like it when routine is broken. This particular morning, Janie heard the kids, but she didn't tell Malia. Maybe she was tired, she didn't fancy going to town, and she went back to sleep. Now, this is what the court documents say. Janie McKenzie provided 2 statements to police, May 2nd, 2025 and May 5th, 2025. So the day the children went missing and then 3 days later. Janie McKenzie said Lilly and Jack are her step-grandchildren. She lives in the camper on the same property as residents from where Lilly and Jack went missing. She said she saw them all week. Regarding Friday, she said, now let's see how this compares with what she told CBC. Well, she's had a long time to get the story straight for CBC. On Friday morning, she got up at 6, had tea, cigarettes. Around 7, she went and tended to her chickens and let her dog out. She went back inside and played a game on her phone. She's awake the whole time, apparently. She got a call from her brother, Ron, at 8:48 a.m, and they talked about going to town. After she was done talking to him, she went back to bed and must have dozed off after scrolling on Facebook. Now, here's the thing. She originally said she might have learnt the children were gone around 8:48. So she might have learnt the children were gone around 8:48, so around the time that her brother was on the phone to her, before she talked to Ron. So she's saying, well, Daniel and Malia were shouting for the kids. She learnt they were gone around 8:48, before her brother called. And remember, Janie's been up since 6 a.m. 7 a.m. she went out to her chickens, then she just played a game on her phone. Later, she clarified the timeline in her second statement. Her dog started barking and that woke her up. She heard Lilly and Jack in the backyard playing on the swings and laughing, so this is after 8:48. Then she dozed off again. She woke up again when she heard Daniel yelling for Jack and Lilly. She didn't think anything of it because Jack liked to look for bugs and get into things. So she thought Daniel might have been yelling at Jack for that reason, but she came outside. There's Malia, and the children are missing. And Malia calls the cops at 10:01. They've never been seen since. So why did Janie change that key piece of information? Up to this point that Janie spoke to CBC, we'd been hearing from Durwood, who has become friendly with Janie, but is actually Malia's grandma, Patty's first cousin. Via Durwood, he was saying that Janie knew the exact timeline and it was all going to come out. Well, Janie does have a timeline that she told CBC, a very straightforward timeline. 6 o'clock, wakes up, has tea, cigarettes, goes to feed her chickens about 7, goes back, plays a game on Facebook or her phone or whatever, and then Ron calls her at 8:48. Up to that point, everything's quiet, and then dozes back off. She hears the kids, she dozes back off again, and then the next thing she knows, Daniel's shouting for the kids, and that's 9:40. However, the dispatch audio says that Lilly and Jack were last seen at 8 a.m. Last seen at 8 a.m. And we know that both Daniel and Malia are in and out of sleep, according to their statements. So is it possible that there's a lie gone on here? Not a lie to cover up a murder, but a lie to cover up just how long Lilly and Jack were missing. Could it be? Because remember, Daniel has said that he went all around everywhere, he went through the woods, he went through culverts, he went down the road, he went all over the place. But apparently he did that in, he says 2 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. And when you're panicking, you might not remember the time, you might not realise how long you've been out. Is it possible? And I think it's possible that they did hear Lilly and Jack earlier on at 8 o'clock, and then it was before the call with Ron that they realised the children were missing. And she didn't go to town because the children were missing. If that's actually what happened, why the lie? Now, it puts the children missing at longer than an hour. But that should widen the search area. So why wouldn't you just admit that that's what happened? Why wouldn't you just admit that? rather than saying 20 minutes, which makes you sound a little bit of a better parent, than over an hour. Could be like an hour and a half. Could be 2 hours. If they last heard the kids at 8. Well, Janie was up at that time. So if the kids did go out of that fence near Janie's camper at that time, here's the fence. So they got a gate, but then a hole in the fence. That's Janie's enclosed area for her dog. But then where Lily and Jack play, there's an opening in the fence. Why not just put a gate there? It's insane. And there's a little cabin that they play in. I mean, look, seriously. Why not just put a gate there? I don't understand why they've got these holes in the fence if the children are known to wander. And again, I don't like breaks from routine. So if the kids were last heard by Malaya and Daniel in the trailer at 8 o'clock, and then maybe they were told to go and play, they were waking Meadow up, and they snuck out. It could well be that what Janie's saying about Lily always shouts, come on, Jackie, come on, Jackie, come on, Jackie. Actually, they could have been quiet. They could have snuck out. Maybe they'd been told off and they snuck out. And Janie genuinely didn't hear them. And she was genuinely mistaken about the time. I'm absolutely positive that if Jack and Lily wandered off, they were gone a lot longer than what the cops were told. But the cops were told they were last heard at 8. I mean, it's crazy if they lied about that. It's crazy if they just dialed the clock back a bit to make themselves seem slightly better parents. Or was there something else that happened between 8 and 8:48 when we've got that call with Ron? Because it's the 8:48 before and after where the discrepancy comes in. She got a call from her brother, 8:48, after which time she dozed off. She originally said she might have learnt the children were gone around 8:48. So not just that she heard them, but she learnt that they were gone around that time before she talked to Ron. But later clarifies her timeline in her second statement. So is it an honest mistake? It could well possibly be an honest mistake. And there's nothing to see here except an honest mistake. But it just niggles me that on the dispatch audio, they said twice. There's actually two points in the dispatch audio where the cops are talking to each other over the radio, and they say that the kids were last seen at 8, which is more consistent with her learning that the kids were gone before 8:48. So it niggles me. I don't like breaks in routine, and I don't like changing timelines. That's just me. But let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.